if you're one of those people who just has all the ideas in the world, you're in the right place. I am one of those people who I have so many ideas that if I lived 1,000 lives, I still would not finish all the things that I would like to do in life in general. But in particular today, we're talking about our Teachers Pay Teachers products. So I sell on Teachers Pay Teachers. I actually have 2 different stores because again, your girl's got way too many ideas and I never run out of product ideas. People message me and they're like, Becca, how do you come up with product ideas? And I'm like, how do you not have product ideas? I don't understand. And it's not like a shameful thing. Like that's totally fine if you need a little bit of help getting started. But I am not one of those people. I have the opposite problem where I have so many product ideas that I could never finish them all. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to kind of prioritize the different products to make sure that you are picking, basically picking which product you're going to make, but in particular, picking the things that are actually going to help you make money because let's be real, that's why you're in business. If you have the opposite problem where you just don't know where to start and you don't have any product ideas, I have another video that has a whole bunch of different places you can get product ideas. Seriously, go watch it, grab a notebook, write down 10 things for each thing I say, and you will have so many product ideas. You'll then need to come watch this video to know which one to do first. So without further ado, let's hop right on in. All right, so I'm not gonna actually tell you what product to do first because frankly, I don't know what product you should do first because I don't know what products you have ready, but I'm gonna take you through a couple of questions to ask yourself to kind of see how important this particular product is and just, which one you should do first. So number 1 is always start with things that you are making for school. If you are a full-time or even a part-time teacher and you are creating things for your students, that's where you want to start because you're already pretty much done. Like you already made the resource. So go post it. Now, personally, I do like to add a couple of things before I post it because sometimes I only need, certain parts and I like to beef them up to make sure that I can, sell them for a decent price and just make sure that everybody has what they need, and I make extra versions and stuff like that. But even with that, it's a lot faster to make things that I've already started making for my kiddos at school than to start completely from scratch. So if you have something that you've been making for school, start there. In particular, this is really helpful because especially if you are on Instagram or anything like that, where you're talking about what lessons you're doing, you've been talking about the lessons. If you post them for sale, people then hear you talk about the lessons and they can then go purchase. This happens quite a bit. I talk on Instagram and I'll tell, like, hey, today 3rd grade's doing this, 1st grade's doing this, those different things. I teach music, so I see everybody. And I'll have people message me. They're like, hey, where can I buy that? Where can I get that? Where can I see that? And sometimes I don't have anything for them and I'm like, you can't. Or I'm like, I'm working on it, I'm getting there. Or I already have it posted and I can be like, here's the link. And I've gotten quite a few sales from that where people just replied to my stories, were like, hey, where can I get that? And I'm like, here's the link. And then they go and buy it and it's a great time. So definitely make sure that if you made something for school, you put it on TPT. So beef it up, make sure that you have all those copyright and things that you maybe didn't worry about with your kiddos and post it to TPT. All right, number 2 is to make some data-driven decisions. If you are in teacher full-time, you are probably so sick of hearing people talk about data-driven decisions. I had to sit through a whole leadership meeting today talking about data. And I was like, I teach music. Your MAP scores mean nothing to me. I don't even know what they mean. But anyway, you should drive your decisions based on data because frankly, that's the whole point of data. Data would be any numbers, any information that you have that is talking about what's already selling in your store. Now, obviously this means that you have to have a store and have been selling something, but if you've been around for, more than a couple of months, then you should have at least a little bit of data to see what is selling, what's selling best, and what's selling right now. So what I want you to look at is go to your store and sort from best selling and see what is selling the best. Okay, there's number 1. Then after you see what is selling the best, see if there's anything that you can kind of make that would go along with it. Bonus points if you could bundle it. So where's my phone? I have a phone somewhere. Maybe I don't. I was gonna show you an example, but I don't know where I put my phone. Oh, I know where it is. All All right, now I've already done this, so some of these examples won't be the best, but when I sort my store by bestsellers, the very first thing is my What a Wonderful World Google Slides lesson. So this lesson is based off of the song What a Wonderful World, and it gives a lot of like context about jazz and about instruments, about Louis Armstrong and all that good stuff. So this is my bestseller. So if that's my bestseller, then I'm gonna write down on a piece of paper, What a Wonderful World. And then I'm gonna think, what are a couple of things that I could do that kind of go with that? So either something that could literally go with it and be bundled, or just something similar. So maybe I pick a different song and I make a Google Slides lesson about that song. That could be an option. Or maybe I do something related to this. Now I've already done this, so like I have a whole Google Slides presentation that's about jazz, and so people can buy the What a Wonderful World, they can buy the jazz, they can also buy my Louis Armstrong resource, and all of those things will really make sure that they are understanding, you know, jazz and Louis Armstrong and all of that good stuff. So that is one way that you can do it. So either look at like the type of product and see if you can make something similar, or look at the content and see if you can make something similar, because What a Wonderful World jazz lesson is already doing well. That tells me that other things in that category are probably going to do well. And when I did this, I was correct. I started selling that What a Wonderful World. It started doing really well. And so I did this strategy and I said, okay, what are things I could do related to this? And my number 2 bestseller is actually my jazz lessons bundle, which has a whole bunch of jazz lessons in there. So that I made totally because I saw that my What a Wonderful World lesson was doing well, and so that, you know, led to that. Same thing with a lot of my other resources. If I have one that's doing well, I often will make a similar one that will then do very, very well. So you can check your bestsellers. You can also check what's selling more recently. I love looking at this to see just what's like more in season, and it's been particularly helpful over the past 2 years of craziness with coronavirus and shutting down schools and hybrid and distance learning and all the craziness, because people needed totally different things than normal. Because my previous bestseller was a centers game, which obviously no one was doing centers because like I wasn't even in school. We were at home. I was right here in my office. And so when I look at my app, you can see, when I look at my app, you can see this one over here. Once it goes, there we go. It says the last 30 days. And so when you click on it, it'll show you your bestsellers from the last 30 days. This is really helpful because it's more current, up-to-date things. So my very bestseller for the last 30 days is my stick figure movement activity, which is depressing because it's like $1.50. It's like the cheapest thing in my store, and it's a little bit sad. And every time I sell one, I get really sad because I'm like, ugh, I need to make more money off of this. So I know that I need to go and I need to make similar resources so that I can then bundle them. And even if I only get to $5, it's better than the $1.50 that I'm currently making. So maybe 80 cents or like 65 cents if they only purchase that. So definitely go and check, you know, what's going through daily. My second one right now is my icebreaker music conversation starters, and both of those I'm 100% sure is because it is back to school time. And the stick figures I talk about a ton during back to school. It's always one of the first things I do with my kiddos because it's so easy and so fun and they love it. And then the icebreaker conversations is again for back to school time, and so that's doing well because it's back to school time. So that tells me not just other resources I could make, but it also tells me, hey, teachers are buying things for back to school, which like obviously I knew, but you know, it's still nice to see it sometimes. After that I have a singing game, and so that tells me that people are looking for singing games for fun stuff. And then I have one of my favorite rhythm games, which is probably because I talk about this one all the time and I send it to my email list and talk about it on Instagram, and so I'm going to attribute that mostly to marketing. After that, I currently have my Print to Go emergency sub plans, and that I'm guessing is because again it's back to school season. I know I had to turn in emergency sub plans, and so I'm assuming other people also needed to turn in emergency sub plans in case we're out, you know, unexpectedly. Kids have things to do, and so that is my assumption for that one. So these are really helpful things to see in the moment what is selling right now. Look through those and see why are those particular things selling? Is it because I've been marketing them really well, or is it because of the product? You know, what is it? Is it the season? You know, what is that? And then also see, is there anything I can make that is similar to this? Maybe that I can bundle with it. Maybe that's just similar in type or in content. Either one is fine. And that's gonna be number 2. So we had number 1, what you make for your class. Number 2, data-driven decisions. Number 3 is gonna be, we're gonna prioritize product lines. This is not gonna come as a surprise to you if you've been around here for a while, but I love product lines because product lines allow you to sell more resources at the same time and basically just allow you to make more money. And let's be honest, that's what you want. That's why you're in business. So what I mean by product lines is a couple of products that go together. So that could either be a set of products that are all the same content, or one type of product for different things. So for example, I have my Kaboom games that do really well. I have Kaboom games for rhythm. I have Kaboom games for melody. It's the same product, but for different content areas. Or you can do one content area and do different activities. So I do this a lot in my Becca's Bible class one, where I will take one Bible story. So I'll do like Jesus Calms the Storm, and I'll have activity sheets. I'll have more like geared towards little people activity sheets. So more like, you know, little kid stuff, much more coloring, less information. I'll have like a Bible trivia game, and I might even throw in some sword drills that are about, you know, if it's Jesus Calms the Storm, maybe we do sword drills about trusting in God, or about calming the storm, or, you know, whatever. And so these things all together make a product line. They're different products, but they're the same content. So people can purchase them together. I can bundle them, and then people can buy them all. And so instead of spending $2, they can then spend like $10 or $20, and I'm gonna make a lot more money. So definitely make sure that you're prioritizing those product lines. If you already have something, or you already started a product line, make sure you finish it. I am the worst about creating a product line and then not finishing a product line. So if you have a product line already, make sure you're doing that. If you don't already have one in progress, then look at what you have, see if you can make one, because those are always going to sell more and do better, because, and also frankly, they're less work because you've already put in quite a bit of the work by either learning the content or by creating the template. So you're already like a leg up. All right, number 4 is, if you're still not sure what to make, look through your products and see what are people asking you about. If you have an audience, then chances are people are sending you messages, commenting on your stuff, and asking you questions, and those questions are gold. So make sure that you're looking at those questions and seeing what, you know, people can do. I have people who ask me about how I teach this concept or how I teach that concept, and once I have a product ready, then I can just send them the product and be like, here's how I do it, here's the best thing to do, here's something that's really fun. So as people are asking you questions, make sure that you have a product, maybe also a blog post or a video or an IGTV that you can send them that is going to help them with said problem. Now, if you do not have an audience and no one's asking you questions, first of all, you're not alone. We all start out that way. I remember people used to be like, oh, just talk to your audience. And I'm like, but no one is talking to me. And it took a long time for me to cultivate relationships with people where they felt comfortable talking to me and I felt comfortable talking to them. So if you don't have an audience, then your new project is to go build an audience, whether on social media or on email or whatever, so that you are able to actually talk to people. And number 5 is kind of just a bonus out there, and it's whatever you're excited about. There's something to be said about just being excited about a new product line. I get so excited about new products, which is unfortunate because then I'm less excited about older products. But still, if I am excited about a product, I'm going to finish it so much faster because I want to, and I'm looking for opportunities to do it. I'm excited, I'm ready to go. And if I'm not excited about a product, then I'm much less likely to be excited to, you know, move quite as fast. And so I'm moving slower. It takes longer. It doesn't get posted as soon. I'm not as excited to talk about it. So just overall, make sure that you are doing things that you're excited about. If you are feeling bored with your TPT shop, a lot of times it's because you're not excited about what you're doing. So find something that makes you excited. For me, I'm always like, man, I'm bored, I need a new product line. I don't need any more product lines, but you know, it's still a good thought. So if you are having trouble figuring out which of your many product ideas you should do, then I want you to start with these questions and, you know, start again. What are you making for school? Data-driven decisions, product lines, things people ask you about, and then whatever just makes you excited. And I would also go in that order, by the way. So there you go. I hope this video was helpful. If you have more questions or if you have some ideas for how you pick out which things that you talk about, then you can leave those down in the comments and we would love to hear about it. So thanks so much for watching and I'll see you next time.